Picture this. You're working late on a product launch and you need a poster with three languages, perfect typography, and brand consistent design. You fire up your favorite AI image generator, craft the perfect prompt, and the text comes out looking like alphabet soup. Sound familiar? Well, that frustration might finally be coming to an end. Today on Times of AI, we're breaking down Qwen Image, a 20 billion parameter multimodal diffusion transformer that's claiming to solve one of generative AI's most stubborn problems, native text rendering that actually works. I'm your host, and over the next 8 minutes, we'll explore how curriculum based training, dual encoding architectures, and some serious computational muscle are turning text in images from a necessary evil into a competitive advantage. We'll cover the technical breakthroughs, benchmark results, and most importantly for you, what this means for your workflows, your products, and your bottom line. Let's cut to the chase. Why has text rendering been such a thorn in AI's side? Traditional image generation models treat text like any other visual pattern. They learn that certain squiggly lines often appear together, but they don't truly understand that sales should always be SALE, not some creative interpretation thereof. QuenImage flips this script with what they call a curriculum-based data pipeline. Think of it like teaching a child to read. You don't start with Shakespeare, you start with see, spot, run. The model begins training a simple single word labels, then gradually progresses to multi-line layouts, paragraph level content, and finally complex mixed language compositions. But here's where it gets interesting for you as a practitioner. This isn't just about English. The curriculum explicitly handles Chinese characters, Japanese text, and multilingual combinations that would make traditional methods throw up their digital hands in defeat. We're talking about shop signs with perfect calligraphy, technical documentation with mixed scripts, and marketing materials that actually respect cultural typography conventions. In plain English, they've taught the model to crawl before it walks, and the walking is pretty impressive. Now, let's talk about the secret sauce, and this is where things get technically juicy. QuenImage uses what's called dual encoding for image editing, and it's solving a problem that's been plaguing content creators for months. You know the drill. You generate an image, love 90% of it, but need to tweak one element. Traditional models often suffer from edit drift, change the text, lose the style, adjust the color, scramble the layout. It's like trying to perform surgery with boxing gloves. QuenImage's approach is elegantly simple. Use two encoders simultaneously. The Qwen 2.5 VL encoder handles semantic understanding. It knows what the image means, what objects are present, what the context implies. Meanwhile, a VAE encoder preserves visual fidelity, the exact textures, lighting, and stylistic details that make the image work. During editing, both signals guide the generation process. The semantic encoder keeps you on track conceptually, while the visual encoder maintains that pixel perfect consistency you need for professional work. It's like having both a creative director and a technical artist collaborating in real time. Bottom line for you, fewer do overs, more predictable results, and the kind of fine grained control that actually makes AI tools visible for client work. Let's talk about performance because in this business, benchmark results are the ultimate reality check. Qwenimage isn't just claiming superiority, it's demonstrating it across multiple evaluation suites that matter to real world applications. On general generation tasks like GenEval and DPG Bench, it's achieving state of the art results. But where it really shines, and this should perk up your ears, is in specialized text rendering benchmarks, long text bench, Chinese word evaluation, text graph assessments. Across the board, we are seeing performance improvements that translate directly to fewer manual corrections and higher first pass success rates. And here's something that might surprise you. The editing benchmarks tell an even more compelling story. gedit, ImageEdit, GSO, these aren't academic exercises, they are proxies for real workflow scenarios. When a model excels at these tasks, it means your design iterations happen in minutes, not hours. In plain English, this isn't just incrementally better, it's categorically different. We are looking at the kind of performance leap that changes what's possible, not just what's convenient. So, what does this mean for you and your organization? Let's connect the dots because these technical improvements create cascading opportunities across multiple sectors. First, consider design workflows. If you're in creative services, marketing, or product development, reliable text rendering means you can finally automate the boring stuff. Social media assets, product catalogs, localized campaigns, without sacrificing quality or brand consistency. That's not just efficiency, it's strategic capability. Your teams can focus on high level creative decisions while AI handles execution. For e commerce platforms, this is potentially transformative. Dynamic product images with accurate text overlays, A/B testing creative variants at scale, personalized visual content that maintains brand guidelines. These become operational realities, not wishful thinking. And if you're in the enterprise content space, here's what should get your attention: multilingual capability that actually works, global campaigns with consistent visual identity across languages, technical documentation that renders correctly in any script, compliance materials that don't require manual typography review. That's operational excellence at scale. The writing's on the wall, quite literally. Organizations that master these tools first will have a significant competitive advantage in content velocity and quality consistency. To understand why this matters, you need to see where we've begun. The Quen family started a capable language models, evolved into multimodal systems, and now we're seeing specialized applications that push the boundaries of what's computationally feasible. This follows a broader industry pattern towards transformer based diffusion architectures, the same technical foundation powering systems like Stable Diffusion 3. But Qwenimage represents something more focused. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, it's solving specific high value problems exceptionally well. Here's the kicker for you as a technology professional. We're witnessing the maturation of AI from impressive demos to reliable tools. The difference isn't just technical, it's economic. When AI outputs require minimal human intervention, entire business models become viable that weren't before. Here's the bottom line: Qwenimage isn't just another model release, it's a signal that AI is finally ready for prime time in professional creative workflows. The combination of curriculum based training, tool encoding architecture, and enterprise-grade performance creates new possibilities for organizations willing to embrace them. If you want to stay ahead of these developments, subscribe to Times of AI. We'll keep you informed about which breakthroughs actually matter for your work and which ones are just academic curiosities. Because in this space, the difference between leading and following often comes down to knowing what's ready for production and what's still in the lab. And a reminder, in the world of AI, today's breakthrough becomes tomorrow's baseline. The question isn't whether these tools will transform your industry, it's whether you'll be ready when they do.